this cane sword. So I'm gonna lift it up and kind of pull it out just a little bit to expose the blade, and then sheath it back again. I said, Ryle, take me seriously when I tell you, do not sell to her again. That's a command.
Greetings, mortals, and welcome to, it's episode 4, isn't it, of the Blades in the Dark actual play podcast, Canticle of the Crimson Wake. We had an absolutely crazy session last episode, and I suppose we're just going to dive in. Oh, if you would like to hear our after show, Blades After Dark, you can gain access to that by subscribing to the Tabletop Sandbox Patreon, which we would appreciate you doing. But last session, we pulled off a smuggling job that turned into an all-out assault on the Precious Palace, a place frequented by Eruvians, including many notable red sashes. And at that Precious Palace, there was, I've decided, not a red sash, but somebody allied with the red sashes, a master swordswoman, Isha Arkaya. And our session ended with a bang, with Kavlov leading the charge of Lamp Blacks against Isha Arkaya and besting her, very nearly losing some of himself in the process. And I believe we are going to pick up after hours in Bazo Baz's coal warehouse. You're not in Bazo's office. Once you got back, the Lamp Blacks being the ones who have the manpower to tow both Isha's and Kavlov's unconscious bodies back here. And we have you kind of in a side office. You see some of the Lamp Blacks take Isha's body, and you're not really sure who this woman is, but you saw, Kavlov knows, Spark got a clue, but the Stanchik sisters just saw them bring down this...
and wrap them in our beautiful rug.
Yes, bring down this naked woman with a very broken leg.
Oh, God.
Like bent completely not how it's supposed to be. Probably broken femur.
Like Family Guy style.
Yeah.
What's that?
Like Family Guy style.
Yes,
the Family Guy broken leg.
But
the Vecna.
Kind of, but terrible.
But not funny.
But not funny. Yeah, not just that.
It's
covered in cuts and blood, and she was wrapped in a very nice rug, which you will no longer be able to sell, and brought back. So we pick up with our group in this side office. You haven't seen Bazo yet, but Kavlov is laid out on a table. Isha has been taken away somewhere else. Crick and a couple of the Lamp Blacks took her up to Bazo's office. Crick let you guys know,
I'm pretty sure that Stitch will be around, so don't leave before getting yourselves patched up.
And there is a few minutes before this physiker, who is on Bazo's payroll, comes and takes a look at you guys. But the 4 of you are in various states of physical harm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sitting, laying, passed out around the room.
Yeah.
I'm chilling.
Shut up.
I took no damage.
Shut up.
Yeah, why don't you describe what your characters are doing, where their heads are at?
I'm pretty fucked up. I still, like, the stitches that Sawtooth did on my arm they're not in anymore. Like, it's open. The wound's open again, and now I've got, like, this, like, gash across my ribs, too, like, right under my breast, like, real bad. A rib's probably broken. Who knows? You know, like something bad or probably
happened. Those red sashes hit hard.
Yeah,
They're good at what they do.
They did. Yeah, it was not pretty. I am sitting down if I can, and I am just like, I'm trying to wrap as much like whatever, you know, bandages I might have on me, whatever I've got, like even just tearing up some clothes on me just to wrap it around, because like I'm kind of bundled, you know. So I'm just trying to stop the bleeding, you know, or keep it controlled, and I am in a lot of pain.
Yagoda, the only one who didn't take any harm last session. What are you doing? What's your vibe right now?
Very apathetically, like, yeah, you know, you're gonna be okay.
Oh, it's really
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
Really fucking hurts.
It's okay.
No.
stop complaining. You're gonna be okay. And I'm just gonna like walk away at some point.
just awkward shoulder pat.
Yeah. I'm like, this is boring. I don't like waiting very long.
Boring,
So, I mean, maybe I'll try to go listen to what they're talking about.
Maybe. Kavlov, what are you doing?
So Kavlov having a shredded shoulder, being lacerated and sliced, and still shaken from that ghost from before. He is trying his absolute best to put on, like, I'm fine. He's Leave me alone. I'm fine.
You okay, bud?
He's fine.
But he's barely with it. Like he's
You're like drifting in and out of consciousness.
I stole some vodka from Sawtooth. You want to pour that on the wounds?
Do you have load left over for that from the score?
Sure. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Sure, you can check one load for vodka.
Yeah. I forgot. I
mean,
I erased it already, but I did.
Yeah.
I've got vodka here.
Thank you. He
Blood thinners down the hatch.
downs it. Yeah. But yeah, Kavlov he looks awful, but like he's trying to keep it together.
Spark.
She seems relatively okay. From the front, you can't really tell besides like a cut on her cheek. But behind, you can see that there's like caked on blood, like flowing from the back of her neck to like the front of her. And like it's like all soaked into like her shirt. And she can't really feel it because it's still like adrenaline. But she's like ripping up her shirt and she's like, I think it's like around this spot, and is like trying to like staunch the blood. And then she has like an eye on Kavlov, and whenever he like dozes off for too long, she like waves her hand in front of him and like taps his shoulder to make sure he stays awake.
How you doing, buddy? Slaps him on the shoulder.
Yeah, you're still kind of picking glass out of the back of your neck. Yeah, because something glass flew out of nowhere and caught you. But yeah, a few moments later, there was probably one very severely wounded lampblack that got pulled up to the office right away. You see that a tall, thin man with swept back salt and pepper hair, wearing kind of a white collared shirt with the sleeves rolled up and a leather apron. He kind of comes down from the stairs, and you see that he is cursing and using a alcohol-soaked rag to clean blood off of his hands. And he says,
Well, I couldn't do much for that man upstairs, but let's see if I can help your friend.
and he
Take him
is
first.
gonna kind of he ushers along somebody who's kind of carrying a big case, like a doctor's bag, and he brings it down, and he kind of looks over everybody and sees their wounds and like triages and decides that Kavlov is the one who needs the most help. And this effectively is Bazobaz is going to be fronting you for one free recovery action.
Oh, what a
yeah.
nice guy.
And
love
that's
Basil.
part of his appreciation for you guys getting involved. Okay, so I'm going to roll 2d6 for you, Kavlov. That is a 3. So that is one segment.
Great.
Yay.
Good.
I think he's like, you're not in mortal danger anymore.
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
probably, the pain is catching up with you, and all you want to do is fall asleep right now.
Yeah.
Because you just do not feel good.
Well, kiss
and your
on the
body is
forehead.
trying to begin the healing process. But he's going to go over and look at Tony next, the 2 gashes.
Thank you.
And that is a 4. So you're going to heal 2 segments.
Oh, fuck yeah. That fills up my clock.
Nice. So all of you have a level 2 and a level 1?
I have 2 level 2s.
2 level 2s. Okay, so those now become level 1 arms.
Sweet.
So
Both
just
of them?
move them. Yes. Okay. And then Spark, he's going to come over and start he takes some tweezers and starts picking glass out of your neck, and more blood starts running down. Basically, your shirt will have to be thrown out.
Yeah.
But he makes sure he gets all the shards of glass out and then kind of sanitizes the wound, which is not a fun experience.
No, I imagine not.
Because you have all sorts of long cuts that are bleeding profusely, and then he kind of washes it off and starts patching you up with a bunch of gauze and bandages. And you, that's a 6.
a 6.
You get 3 segments to your healing
Yay.
clock.
Look at you.
And he looks at Yagoda, who is unharmed.
Ouch.
There's like a splinter in my finger. Can you just take a look at it?
He will go over and take your hand and with a pair of tweezers, no anesthetic, just bink, and pulls that sliver out.
Doesn't hurt that
But
bad. Shut up.
I'm going to say that with that fourth member who is not in need of his help and Kavlov's still in a bad way, he's going to roll one more
Thank
time
you.
for Kavlov.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm being nice,
Yes,
but this
you're
is
being
this is
very
Bazo
kind.
being nice because you went out of the way. You
Yeah.
led the attack
Yeah.
on this
You
Isha
brought back
who is
a
not even
hostage.
supposed to be there.
Yeah.
That is a 5. So
Okay.
you're going
Let's
to heal
do.
2 segments. So you're at 3 now,
3,
right?
yeah.
Good shit.
But that means I could go back to our
So-
friend Sawtooth.
Sawtooth.
Yeah.
I
So
needed
for if you do one recovery action, you will definitely no longer be at a level 3.
Awesome.
Good shit.
But
Good.
basically, you'll get rid of your level 1s. Your level 2s will become level 1s. Your level 3 will become a level 2.
That's huge. Yeah.
That is huge.
Guaranteed. Then you see Stitch, this man, he packs up his things and he says, "Best of luck to you." And he kind of turns away and
Hey, Stitch, do you by chance know a man named Sawtooth?
I'm going to roll a fortune roll. I don't know what's
He's got a theme song.
The rivals.
yeah, what is their relationship?
Purely sexual.
He goes, "No, I have never met the man." And you can tell he's lying. And he leaves. Yagoda's like, "Oh,
I
that's
say
a lie."
we press.
Knows him?
He knows Sawtooth.
We'll have to ask Sawtooth.
Well,
about it.
Sawtooth will tell us everything.
Oh, this is exciting drama. I'm ready to start.
You guys are given a few moments to recover. Yagoda, you get increasingly bored, almost to the point where you're going to sneak up and try to listen in at Bazo's office. But you kind of look out the windows of the side office you're in on the main floor, and you see that there are people standing around. You know, they are at war, and so there are heavily armed and armored lampblacks standing around just in case anything goes wrong, and so it's not super feasible for you to sneak in there. Or like sneak up close enough to eavesdrop. You see Bazo Baz emerge from his office and come down those stairs holding a bottle of whiskey.
Yes.
Oh, the
And
man.
he kind of comes in and takes a look at all of you, nods to those of you who are in a state to acknowledge him, and he says,
Well, all of you have gone above and beyond yet again. I knew you were ambitious, but to take on a master Eruvian swordswoman and prevail, I applaud your bravery, your stupidity, but most of all your competence. You got the job done above and beyond what I asked of you, and so I can say that this is well earned.
and he is going to pay you off 8 coin for a big score, serious loot, and he is going to subtract 1 coin from that as his tithe. So you guys get 7 coin.
That's a fuck ton, guys.
And
Let's
you
go.
guys were unfortunately not able to, your rolls didn't go so well, and so the Stanchik sisters were not able to up that by gaining extra loot, by looting the
okay.
warehouse
Oh.
that you robbed in the
Yeah, that's
bottom.
fine.
That's fine.
But that's still, I mean, this was a serious loot, and he's probably throwing in a bit extra for the fact that you helped too. Because if it was just the smuggling job, it would probably have been 6 coin, and you have been a big help to the war effort as well as doing the job. And he gifts you guys a bottle of pretty nice whiskey.
Don't worry, I've
And
got
he
room
just
for that.
says,
Please, this time, drink it. Don't pour it on your wounds.
think
I'll have cheap vodka for that if
So
you
do
want.
I. Drink the vodka instead of the whiskey.
and yeah, he kind of looks around and he hands Spark the nice bottle of whiskey because he trusts you the most not to squander it. And and Kavlov's in a bad way.
Yeah.
Yeah, then she'll pop it open. And then she'll look at Tony. And then she'll look right at Yagona and then offer Yagona.
I'll take it. And then I'll pretend to swig from it, but then I'll give it to
I'll take a massive swig from it and I'll hand it back.
Yeah, and Bazo says,
It was not part of the plan for Isha to be there, but in doing what you've done, you've opened up opportunities for the Lampblacks in this war. Maybe just giving us the chance to finish it before it gets even bloodier. The Eruvians, they value their own, especially the royals. I believe that the Archaias have got family back in the homeland who would pay very dearly to have their own returned safely to them. You've done me a great service, and I hope that this,
he points to the bottle, and
this
points to the coin.
reflect my appreciation. I hope Stitch did right by you as well.
Very much so.
It was great, yeah.
As always, it's a pleasure working with you, and keep an ear out. I might have a job for you on the horizon. Get home safe.
Good luck with the rest of the war, Basso.
Yeah, thank you, love.
Thanks, Dad.
I will grab the whiskey and be like, they're just a little drunk.
Yeah.
He will kind of he's almost ready to leave, and he then walks over and looks down at you, Kavlov, if you're still kind of, or I don't know, are you still laying down, or have you wrenched yourself into a sitting position?
He's probably in a sitting position at this point.
And it's hell to be just sitting on a table.
Yeah.
And you're not looking forward to the trip home.
Yeah.
But Bazo says,
Kavlov, Crick told me how you handled yourself and what you did in there. I'm impressed.
and he will then just kind of give a nod and turn and stride out. And this man has, I mean, weird phrase, but it popped into my head, so I'm going to say it, oodles of swagger. Yeah.
I think it's fitting.
Yes.
I think it's fitting.
I was thinking of
I
something
mean,
else.
Bazo Baz is a man with class.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
And that will kind of take care of our payoff. And we, you guys end up limping home, but you make it back to the lair safe. Now we have to address the question of heat. You know what? I'm going to do a hybrid. It's halfway between contained because it all happened in that one place. And it might work so that word is only traveling in Eruvian circles. But also there was a massacre in a pleasure palace.
Yeah.
And so it was, I'm gonna split the difference between contained and loud and chaotic and give you guys 3 heat.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, the spirit wardens will be working overtime.
I'm going to add 1 heat because Isha Arkaya is high profile and well connected.
Yeah.
To Eruvian nobility. Add +1 heat if you're at war with another faction, so that bumps us up to 5. Add +2 heat if killing was involved, whether the crew did the killing or not. Bodies draw attention. And so that's going to be 6 heat.
Oh man, guys.
Can you prove that they died?
Guys, we're so close to getting another wanted level, but we didn't. Unless he tells me that there's another one,
It's
I'm gonna
9,
freak.
right? You're at
8. Yeah, we're at 8.
You're at 8.
And
Yeah.
9 would be adding
9 would be another wanted level.
What about rep? Before we get to the next thing.
The crew earns 2 rep per score by default.
Cool.
If the target of the score is higher tier than you, take +1 rep per tier higher. So that would be 4 rep. So yeah, you get 4 rep for this.
Okay.
Let's roll on our entanglements table. So how much heat do we have
boy.
right now? We have 6+ heat, huh?
We have 8, yeah.
And we are going to, let's see, I'm going to have somebody roll this for me. Somebody roll 1d6 because your wanted level is 1. So just roll 1d6. Oh, the mini
5.
5.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Interesting.
Oh.
Would somebody roll a d6 for me?
6. 3. I thought it said 8.
What?
It's a 3.
Okay.
That's a 3.
And go ahead and roll another d6 for me.
Oh my god.
do it now, Abby. I did it. Zach did it. Rebecca, you're next.
5 golden rings.
Okay, cool. That's what I wanted.
Actually,
Now somebody roll 2d6s.
Rebecca.
We are randomly generating something,
Oh my
but
god.
I'm not telling you what it is.
3 and a 2.
A 3 and a 2. Oh, interesting.
I hate when you say that.
I think that as you guys are limping home back to the lair, injured and tired and just trying to get home where you're hidden and safe, all at once, the hair on the back of your necks stands up, and you look down and up the street that you're walking down, and you see no one. You scan the windows of the buildings and the rooftops, and you see no one. And you look into the sky, and you see nothing. Except for
That's
Spark.
no moon.
Spark, you see 2 of the stars align in such a way, and stars twinkle, but 2 of them blink and then reappear at the same time, almost like a pair of eyes. But you're not entirely sure that you saw that or if you were just imagining it. Nothing stops you or impedes your progress as you continue back to your lair.
God damn it. What do we
Do you
what do
tell
we
us what
involve?
you saw? We're just like freaking
No,
the fuck
because
out right now.
because I'm just like, wow, that was really weird coincidence.
Yeah, basically what it is everybody gets a weird feeling, and you're all kind of looking around, and does anybody say anything, or are you all just like, oh, that was weird, and go about your business?
Does anyone else have the heebie-jeebies right now?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it's that ghost.
Maybe we're just really tired.
Shh, can you hear dripping?
Nope.
No.
No.
I think I heard it.
You hear the water of a nearby
Guys, I heard
canal
water.
lapping
I heard
against
water.
the sides, but
Get away from the canal.
not like the.
You're
Yeah,
really-
we don't even have to add it in after, in post. But yeah, you make it home, and it is time for downtime activities. As a reminder, you could acquire an asset for your next score, which is a temporary thing that you get. We're hand waving that you returned that gondola because everything went according to plan.
Yes,
so
it did.
Dropped it off, sent it where it needed to be. That all got taken care of.
Shall we divvy up the coin?
I'll take 2.
Okay. Well, can we do 2? We got 8 total. Can I reach into the vaults?
We have 7.
7.
We had 1 left over from.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
rich.
you can pull from the vault. Yeah, you can
Everybody
hold
want
up to
to?
4 in the vault.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone want 2?
I think so.
So
yeah.
none in the vault, and everybody keeps 1.
Yep. Drugs, please.
Drugs, please. Okay, so you are indulging your vice, correct?
Yeah, baby.
You head down to Cat Crawl Alley at the docks, and Jewel, Bird, and Shine are kind of the 3 main figures who run the drug trade down at Cat Crawl Alley. But your specific dealer is Bryle, and he is able to hook you up with what you need. Black Lotus is a tar-like resin made from the leaves of the plant, induces coma-like stupor and visions. And Dream Smoke is actually a milder formulation of Black Lotus. It induces a pleasant intoxication, but you want the coma-like stupor and visions.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, yeah, you go down, and why don't you describe what the interaction is like? Are you buddy-buddy with Bryle? Are you just there for your goods?
I think he's kind of annoyed with me, but I pay him, so, he's fine with it. But, I'm probably one of the more annoying customers. So I pull up, hey, I've had a really, 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 really rough week. I got money.
Yeah, it looks like you've taken a few hits.
I'm not doing great.
But I must say, it also looks like you're loaded, so what can I do for you?
The usual, plus some extra.
You handle the specifics, and he passes
that have
you
never done a
the
drug deal.
Black Lotus.
1 drug, please.
And I would like 1 drugs, please. It's one of those things where you hand him the money, he runs to Bird and hands it, and then she kind of looks through it and then motions, and somebody else drops something down from a window, and Bryle goes over and picks it up and hands it to you.
Thank you.
And you have a package with plenty of Black Lotus to get you fucked up for indulging your vice.
Fucking go. All right.
And you go to wanted to follow and get kind of an idea. What action would you like to do? Are you trying to be stealthy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So what action would you like to use to try and remain undetected as you are tailing your sister?
Oh, it's Prowl. Yeah.
You'd probably be Prowl.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay, so go ahead and roll Prowl.
I'm taking the lowest. And they're
2
double 3s,
threes.
so
3, so that is a failure.
So I notice her.
Yeah, I think that you were in a controlled position. So I think probably what happens is you see, because you started off in a controlled position, I'm going to say that the route that Tony takes and the alley where she ends up in Catcrawl Alley, it is chosen because you can't really get a view of the alley unless you walk through it, where it's hard to pick like a vantage point where you're out of sight and you can just kind of watch. So I'm moving you to a risky position as your consequence. So basically you would have to put yourself, in range of potential scrutiny to get close enough to see anything that's going on.
I will do that.
Okay. We can do flashbacks here.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so stressed.
The
Quite
thing,
literally in the
invisibility
game.
the thing that
today.
popped into my head was you could potentially take the time to disguise yourself using your disguise kit, right?
This is a very good idea. This is indeed a very good idea. I didn't think this through that much.
I will say, if you would like to do that, you can flash back to you putting on a disguise so that you'll fit in amongst the junkies of the docks.
Yeah.
And that will cost you 1 stress.
Alrighty.
You're pushing
doing it.
You're pushing it.
All right. So I imagine that is dirt and sores on your face, and you pick a wardrobe that is like, oh, do you still throw like hints of red in there?
Yeah, I still have like my little earrings on. But like I tuck my hair over it.
Okay.
You know what I
okay.
mean? Like-
You're like, this is for me.
Yeah.
I need to feel nice, even though I look like shit.
Yes.
It's like, I cannot believe
I'll
people
like
dress
still
like
wear my
this.
lipstick and
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have time to take it all
So
off.
now you have a chance of walking through Catcrawl Alley without being recognized as yourself by your sister, but you are in a risky position.
Okay.
So are we rolling Prowl again?
Yeah. Same
Deal, yep.
deal.
You have 0 in Prowl, so you roll 2, right? Take the lower.
4.
4.
You rolled
okay.
a 6 in the
so
first
that
one.
is
That was good.
a success with a consequence. I'm going to start a clock called Bird Suspicion, and you are in a risky position. I'm going to make it a 4 clock, and I'm going to fill in 2. You are here. You're kind of walking through. You put eyes on Tony. What is it that you're hoping to achieve while you're in this alley?
Well, I wanted to see who she's buying drugs from, and so I accomplished that.
Yes.
And I see it's the person that I know that she buys drugs from.
Yes. You do see that Bryle is one of the people out here, but there's kind of a whole operation.
And I think I'm just going to wait until they're done talking and wait for Tony to walk away.
Okay. Yeah, Tony gets her stuff. And where do you go to
Not
partake?
back to the hideout. I like to think I have
To your parents'
my own,
house? You like to think you have your own. Sorry, I
No,
interrupted
like my
you.
own little like hiding spot in the city
Gotcha.
that I go and I, get fucked up. That like I feel somewhat safe, but like
What kind of vibe is it? Is it like a shack on abandoned shack on a rooftop? Is it a corner of an alley? Is it the back of a really shitty dive bar?
it's probably
Is it like
on a rooftop.
a drug den?
No.
Where they're like a trap house?
It's on the roof of my parents' house. But they couldn't find me as a kid.
Interesting. Yeah,
So
and
deep.
I will say it's probably not like a full house that they own to themselves.
Yeah,
It's probably
it's
more
an
like
apartment complex type
yeah,
thing.
yeah, like a townhouse within a building. And
Yeah.
yeah, you're able to climb up and find a spot.
Yeah, and I know how to get onto the top without like getting inside and going out a window or anything like that. Like I know I have my ways, and I have like a little like
Up a drain pipe.
yeah.
And you find your little spot and get blasted.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Partaking of the Black Lotus. And so I assume you have a little bit more that you want to do, Yugoda, but I'm going to have you roll. So what is your lowest attribute? It looks to be either prowess or is it resolve on the bottom?
both are the same with just one. Mm-hmm. So did I just roll one?
So yeah, you're going to roll 1 and reduce that many stress.
Okay. 4.
Yes. So you clear 4 stress from your track. How many stress do you have right now?
I had 7.
And now
I
you're
have
down to 3.
Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
Yugoda, as your sister leaves, what do you do?
I'm gonna walk up to Bryle. Mm-hmm. I have my cane.
Cane.
That's
Yeah, he gives you a look because junkies do not usually walk with a cane, but
Well, like maybe I'm hobbling. It's trying to sell the effect.
okay, trying to sell the hobbling. Sure.
Bryle,
Yeah. Do I know you?
I think I know you.
A lot of people know me.
Who is that girl?
It's none of your fucking business.
Thank you, Bryle.
It is. I have a question, and I hope you take me seriously when I ask you, what can I do to have you never sell to that girl again?
Here's what you can do. It's a real easy plan. What you're going to do is you're going to walk to that end of the alley and you're going to fuck right off.
And then he kind of looks over towards some of the other people who are kind of in this outfit and kind of gives the vibes that there might be something that needs to happen. And so I'm going to add another tick to the bird suspicion clock.
Okay, I'm gonna try to command him.
Okay.
And with intimidation to not sell. To
So
my
what
kid
are you
sister.
using to intimidate him?
Your cane?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Because it's a weapon, right?
Yeah, it is. It's a cane sword. So I'm gonna lift it up and kind of pull it out just a little bit to expose the blade and then sheath it back again. I said, Bryle, take me seriously when I tell you do not sell to her again. That's a command.
Okay, go ahead and roll command.
And I'm gonna push myself.
Okay.
How many stress is that?
That's 2 stress.
Okay, then never mind.
Okay, because that would give you a
Okay.
trauma.
But there's a devil's bargain, is there not? Is that really bad?
There is
that
a
stupid?
devil's bargain. The entire crew will gain -1 reputation with the crew that runs Cat's Crawl Alley. Or what is it? Yeah, Cat Crawl Alley. If you do this, but I will give you 1 extra die.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Oh no! Wait,
All right.
what
I'm
position
making
is she in?
decisions.
You are in a risky position, and because Bryle is here, he's backed up by other people. He's taking your threat seriously, but he's on his home turf. You're going to have limited effect. 5.
I'm gonna say that and I'm gonna get moving.
Like I'd say
Okay, yeah.
I haven't
Yeah, he's like-
gotten back yet.
When he sees the glint of polished steel, he is a little taken aback, and he kind of staggers back a little bit from you and says,
All right, lady, jeez, just get the fuck out of here.
and he kind of takes off running toward a group of other people who are kind of working this alley with him, and you see that he kind of begins to tell them, and Bird is kind of a part of that and is gesturing kind of frantically over to you. You've put some fear into him, but I mean, you're not sure that he's never going to sell to Tony again, but you've certainly made him think twice the next time that happens. And then you kind of take off out of there. I think you see that a couple of them start to move after you as you're kind of leaving the alley. What do you do?
Can I duck into like a doorway or try to hide myself basically and then take off the disguise and then
Am I
Try
still
to-
like leaving
Ooh,
the alley
okay.
at this point?
Lie.
Do I like hear kind of things happening behind me as I'm like walking out?
No, I'm going to say that you are
She
are
waited
kind of-
long enough?
She waited long enough
Fair
that you
enough.
are now gone.
Gotcha.
So your move is to try and duck out of sight lose the disguise and walk out as you go to Stanchik and not the junkie that you were before? Sure. What action are you using for that?
Well, I'm going to try to act composed and not like the person that I was. I'm going to try to deceive them with that. So I'm going to sway.
Go ahead and roll sway.
Ooh, 3. And I can't freaking push myself, bro.
Yeah.
This is when maybe I could possibly use my special armor to resist the consequence. No, I didn't check anything off.
For this one, you're still in a risky position, and I would have given you standard effect, but you fail. And so you kind of duck into an alley, you strip off your kind of the rags and wipe off some of the dirt and kind of tousle your hair slightly differently. And then you walk back out, and you walk very differently, but you're still walking with a cane. And so there's kind of a second where they do a double take, but then you see that they're not like shouting and chasing you, but they are following you. And now they have a concept of what you look like as you go to.
Ooh. But can I resist this consequence?
You can, yeah.
With my special armor.
With your special armor. Is there like a circumstantial limitation on what kind of consequence you can resist, or is it just any consequence?
A consequence from suspicion or persuasion.
Oh, so this would be suspicion. So, you can resist that consequence, so go ahead and mark your special armor.
All right.
And because there's not really a way to scale that specific consequence, I'm going to say that, you resist that consequence, so you lessen it. So instead of them saying, oh, that's her, instead what you have is you walk out of that alley, completely different posture, walking with the cane, very different person. And they kind of run to the mouth of that alley as you're leaving it. Because you did kind of like it. You walk into the alley, scramble to take your makeup off and fix your clothes and everything. And then you just turn and walk calmly back out. And just as you're leaving, they kind of rush to the mouth of the alley. And a couple of them run down. And you see one of them just kind of look back in your direction and just out of the corner of your eye as you're walking away, just kind of squint. And you think one of them might be suspicious and think, is that the person we just saw? So basically, the reduced consequence is they're not following you home or currently in pursuit of you. But basically, if you try to come back to Catcrawl Alley without an absolutely incredible disguise, you're probably going to get recognized. Tony, as you are kind of huddled in the corner of the roof of your parents' townhouse, you drift away into the stupor, leaving behind all the troubles of the world. And as it often does, the Black Lotus gives you visions. And this time your visions happen to be new, ones that you haven't had before. Not a familiar dream, a welcome one. You feel absolutely exhilarated as you drift up away from your body and float and then fly through the starlit sky of Duskwall. The wind in your face, the feeling as you swoop down in between buildings. Then you kind of come to perch at the top of a tall chimney and look down at the street below and just take a step off and fall and plummet. And right before you hit the ground, you kind of wake up from your trance after however many hours have passed. Okay. Who else has a downtime activity that they would like to do?
Yeah, Kavlov is going to go see our friend Sawtooth.
I'll also go see.
All right. So Kavlov and Spark go to Sawtooth.
How you doing, Spark?
I mean, better than you.
That's probably a fair assessment.
I guess we'll knock on the back door of Sawtooth's place.
Yeah, he kind of pulls up, like you hear him shifting the rug, and then he kind of pulls up the hidden trap door that leads down to the tunnels where your lair is. And he says,
All right, come on up. Oh, Cavlov, Kavlov, you look like ground shit.
I feel like ground shit.
Well, why don't you come on, get up on the table? Oh, you too?
Yeah.
It was just the other day, feels like, that I was patching up one of your own.
Yeah, we had a pretty big job the other day.
Oh, yeah? Do tell.
It was a fun one.
All right, well, you can tell me as I'm patching you up. Just go ahead, sit on the table. Let me take a sip to calm my nerves, and I'll get right into it. Oh, this shoulder's gonna need some work.
All right, and Sawtooth is going to head and roll his 1 die. That's a 1.
Yes!
So you heal 1 and reduce all your harm by 1. For you, he's going to see if he can get himself together. And that's a 2, so you heal 1.
Yay. Well, that's enough.
Well, you get 1 tick on your recovery clock.
Yeah, that was enough to fill it up.
Oh, awesome.
Because I had to
Good
Nice.
shit, you guys.
Yeah. So you guys both reduce all your harm by 1 level.
I'm no longer shaken.
Yay.
Kavlov is finally in a decent mood since episode
Just
1.
like not twitchy and jumpy at different things, you know. But yeah, you have that shoulder that is still paining you, but it is on the mend as Sawtooth patches you up, bandages you both up, and sets you on the path to healing.
He says, well, that was some honest work, if I don't say so myself. That looks pretty darn good.
I feel a lot better. You're getting better at this, Sawtooth, I must say.
You think so?
I do think so.
You think so? I've been trying.
Yeah, my friend told me that you're working on a song. Is this true?
Oh, don't worry about the song. It's coming along, but
I'm very concerned. I would love to hear this.
You really want to hear the song?
Spark's down the hallway. She's making her way back downstairs.
Spark is leaving. You're like, I do not want to hear this guy sing.
You know what? If you don't want to, Sawtooth, that's okay. I won't push you.
You know, my mother told me that I had the voice of a supernatural entity. I'm not sure if it was an angel or a demon, but I really think that the theme song needs some accompaniment. You know, it's just a cappella. It's just not really. It's not at its full glory, and I wouldn't want to kind of present to you some half-finished, rushed product. There, my dear friend Kavlov.
That's fair. Hey, you have any clients that haven't paid recently? Any small jobs you need taken care of?
You know, business has been pretty good. I don't actually have anything at the moment where I need your skill set, and honestly, even if I did, a big guy, even as you are, all bandaged up, not nearly as intimidating.
Nah.
But I might have it for you someday soon.
All right. Well, yeah, you just let me know. I'm sure this won't be the last time I'm back here.
Well, I appreciate your coin.
And he just kind of like waves as you go. Just a weird, like, one of his fingers stays completely still as the rest of his fingers wave individually. It's just, And he just kind of looks at it, and you see that it turns into like a twitch, and he just kind of grabs his wrist and turns around. And you just see him go, just humming. Oh, 250. Does anybody else want to do?
Yes, I need to relieve some stress and indulge my vice.
Alrighty.
Yes.
You need to party.
I need to, more refined than party. I need to...
Wine and dine.
Yeah. I need to go to brunch.
I don't need to party. I need bottomless mimosa.
That's totally what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're at least starting. We decided it's not all there, but at the Golden Plum. Yeah, that's your vice purveyor.
Yeah.
You always kind of start off your tour when you're indulging your vice, because it's been a few weeks since you've done something like this. At the Golden Plum with Chef Roselle at the Golden Plum. Yeah, and he kind of knows you, and he'll actually come visit the table and just say hi. Like, you're a known face here. But
you
go
know
ahead.
all the staff, when like the new people are hired there.
You ask for the same
Or when
waiter
people are
every
fired,
time.
what happened to them?
Oh my goodness.
You're the
Did
most
you hear
annoying
about-
customer.
So go ahead and roll your lowest attribute is what, 1? Yeah, so just roll 1 die, and then you're going to subtract that much stress.
4.
4. And how much stress did you have?
I had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Okay,
Yeah.
so you reduce it down to 4 stress. Either of you girls gonna continue on?
Oh, should I? Okay, 3 or higher. Or wait, no, 4 or higher, and I do it. It's a 1. I'm not doing it.
I'll do it.
All right,
I'm
you're
not
gonna.
a
3 stress.
Yeah, you have 4 stress, so the odds are in your favor that you won't overindulge.
And if I do, oh well.
So make sure you mark off 1 coin.
You have another
yeah.
coin.
One of your 2
to pay it
coins
off
is
again.
gone.
I have a whole extra coin left over. Wow, I'm really spending. I'm really saving.
And go ahead and roll that d6 again.
2.
2. Okay, so you're down to 2 stress. And you did not overindulge.
And then I'll go.
Kavlov, you are reducing stress. And before we roll, why don't we describe what it is that you are doing?
Somewhere along the Dask River. So he's
Okay.
It's over on some sort of shore.
Tangletown? That wreck of a Leviathan hunter ship with the floating
it's probably
floating platforms
in Tangletown.
tethered to it. Yeah. And which is kind of a neutral ground for anybody doing battle in Crowsfoot. That can be a place where they talk about it, and therefore it's more safe for Salia.
It's safe for this.
Yeah, so she often hangs out around there or can be found there. And yeah, so remind me and inform our audience, what is your vice?
So Kavlov's vice is ritually communing with ghosts to gather information about his wife, who was taken quite some time ago. And he's been on her trail for a while and had found himself here in Duskwald. From there, he has been obsessed with communing with Salia or through Salia to gather information, make sure she's still alive, and get any sort of clue about her whereabouts.
Sure. Yeah, I think Salia almost fills in the role of medium in this sense, and is a ghost, so speaks to other ghosts and brings them to you because she exists in that world while also possessing another ghost, possessing a body and existing in the physical world, not just the ghost field.
Yeah.
What are the surroundings that you have for this ritual?
The goal is to get away from any possible like passerbyers. So he's probably
Maybe in like a cabin on the Leviathan hunter ship.
Yeah.
This enclosed, raised area where you can look out these dingy windows and see the rest of Tangletown and even the city laid out before you. It's not too terribly high, but it's enough to get that privacy.
Yeah.
And you kind of have a tough time climbing with your bad shoulder, this rusty ladder. But you make it there and you light kind of a gas lantern and kind of hang it outside as a signal for Salia. And you sit there and you begin almost attuning and trying to get yourself in the right headspace for this ritual that is about to come.
Yeah.
And I think if you would like, this could just be talking about your wife, but we could also, if you want to spend another coin, begin a long-term project, which is locate your wife.
I would love to do that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that means you're spending both your coins?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to make this an 8 clock. Salia arrives, and what do you imagine this scene being like?
So he leaves his spirit bane charm buried out somewhere. Like he buries it where he knows it's going to be before he enters onto this ship.
Tucked beneath a cobblestone or something.
Yeah. I think within this cabin, he used that lantern and they like place it in between each other. They sit down across from each other. And I think they're reaching across this one flame of this lantern, holding each other's hands across this. And I think she mainly leads communication. So she's reaching out to the spirits and seeing if any are like willing to bite, if they're like willing to talk. Kavlov will ask questions through her and she'll respond what she's hearing from beyond the veil.
Absolutely. I think that you kind of are there, and Salia, I think that she kind of climbs up and walks in, and there's always just something a little strange about her. You can't really put your finger on it, whether it's the way she moves or her appearance, or maybe it's something with the eyes, but there's always something that you specifically, you can tell that she's a ghost, but you don't know if you have just kind of a sense for this sort of thing, or it's the fact that you know it already and you're always searching to find something that's off about her. And she climbs up and takes the lantern off and brings it inside and sets it in the middle of the floor and says, "Back again, Kavlov.
Good to see you. Salia.
No change? No luck?
Nothing, no.
Why don't we sit?" And you take up your positions, and you sit there holding her hand, and she kind of concentrates, and at a certain point, you see the light of the flame of the lantern start to dim slightly, and then erupts even brighter than before, but this time that aquamarine color of the ghost field, the same color as Spark's lightning. And when Salia opens her eyes are glowing the same color. And she says, and you can hear a couple of voices, "I know it's hard, Kavlov, but I need your emotions. I need your pain. That is more tantalizing to the unquiet dead than mere questions in the void. Everyone has those, but the raw pain, the need, that's all I need from you." And you're able to just kind of let those floodgates that you keep dammed up so much of the time go without words and just kind of send them through. And Salia goes through a period of talking to many ghosts who are drawn to your pain, and most of them are useless. First of all, let's reduce your stress. So go ahead and roll whatever your worst one is. Do you have 1 or 0 in your worst attribute?
0.
So you roll 2d6 and take the lower.
For reducing stress? 1.
1. So you reduce 1 stress. And now, what action would you like to use to begin this long-term project? Locate Yelsina.
Would a tune
Absolutely.
make sense for this?
Yeah, connecting to the ghost field and the ghosts and kind of bringing yourself into that realm rather than just sitting there and letting Salia be your tool, but actively going in yourself. Absolutely, that could work. Go ahead and roll a tune. 2. Okay, so that is a failure. I'm going to mark 1 tick on your long-term project clock.
All right.
Of locate Yelsina. But you're kind of sitting there, and Salia talks with many ghosts, and you're repeating her name. Yelsina, Yelsina, have you seen her? Do you know this woman? And you're kind of sending out the mental image and describing her with your words, and cut to Salia being done, and the faces that are almost floating transparent in the air beside her as the ghosts that she is communing with and that you are communing with are there. They fade away as you kind of finish this session. And she says, "I am sorry, Kavlov. Nothing concrete today. You know it has been not easy to get any sort of concrete location on her ever since she came to Duskwall. I am still unsure why it was so easy for the ghosts to lead you here, but now we don't know where she has gone. You say you think it is Tycheros.
Now you see Kavlov has tears running down his face. That was the last direction that they had said. And it's the only thing that makes sense. Do you know if she's still alive?
I commune with the dead, and they are not always discernible as who they were when they were alive, but your Yeltsina, you have described her to me so well, so many times. I do not know, but I have no reason to believe that she would be dead.
I'll find you again. Same spot. Look for my light. Thank you, Salia. And then Kavlov is a little shaken up. Now gets up from this, puts the light out, and exits.
You kind of come to the door and look down the kind of ladder of this crooked tower that you commune at the top of, and you look down this sizable distance, and you have this impulsive thought of how glorious it would be for those few seconds to fly before you hit the ground. But then you shake it off and descend the ladder like a normal person. But yeah, that's both of your coins spent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spark, anything you'd like to do?
I'm gonna go home.
Yes.
I'm still a little banged up, but not as much as before. Thanks to Sawtooth spitting and rubbing my back.
Yeah. And do you have longer hair?
Yes, she does.
Yeah, that's also goes a long way to covering up your wounds because they're mostly just kind of on the back of your head and your neck, and so you can style your hair so it covers that. But yeah, what do you do? What is your obligation? Because you're relieving stress, correct?
Yeah. So I'll go home, and I'll always go home first to check on Uncle, see what he's doing, and then if not, then I'll go to the church, and then I'll hang out there until like I'm needed, and then I'll pick up a few shifts when I'm here.
Sure. Is it obligation to the family, to your uncle and Raphael, or is it more obligation to the church?
It's more to my family. I think she views her job as something that's helping her family, and so therefore she's just like, okay, well, I have to go, kind of thing.
So maybe you take over for Raphael and let him have a shift off so that he can
take care of Uncle.
Take care of Uncle or do some things, errands that need to get done or things like that. Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you go ahead and roll your lowest attribute rating for your stress?
All right. 6.
All right, you reduced 6 stress. Did you have 6 stress?
Yeah, I had like 1 away from getting a trauma.
Oh, nice. So how many are you at after
I'm at
getting
2,
rid of
I'm at 2.
6? Now you're at 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody overindulged.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's good.
I want to say there is a scene where when she goes home first, Raphael obviously isn't there, but she's taking care of like stuff around the house, like taking trash out and like cleaning up after her uncle. But he leaves his book like on the table. But he's still staring at the same wall again that she saw him staring at again. And she kind of goes to reach for the book and then kind of like winces and then like just leaves the book there and then like just turns him back towards the window and walks out.
Yeah, I think that as you're leaving, walking to the church, there's just a moment where you get that sensation again. Like you're being watched. And the hair on the back of your neck stands up. And this time you look up first. Because you kind of sense that that's where it's from. And you swear you see some kind of shape just dart across. But it's much higher than leaping from rooftop to rooftop. It would be flying within the sky over Duskwall. The only way you can kind of pick it out is because it blocks out a few stars in a pathway. And you continue on to the church and help your brother there and lose yourself in the obligation to your family and helping them and feeling that peace at allowing your brother to take care of what he needs to take care of, and maybe even take a moment to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to reduce heat, so I think I will use a coin to try to reduce heat on our team.
This would be your first coin spent, right? You still have two?
Sick.
Cool. In what way is Tony reducing the heat that is on the Crimson Wake?
There's probably some documents, some maybe pictures of us out there, or suspicion surrounding us. I'm assuming they're out of place, right? Could I go and take those documents, steal them, burn them?
Documents of...
Or anything incriminating on us.
Stealing documents would be like a whole score kind of deal.
Oh, okay.
This would be more like one single action.
Poison the lead investigator on us.
You could... That's something. You could try and like tinker up something and then plant it on somebody and have the Bluecoats find it.
A bomb,
or like an accelerant because, you're involved with an arson case.
You go to the same
frame
area
someone,
and then you frame
so
someone.
Right. Oh my god.
You could, and it won't be completely successful, but it will be a false lead that they're chasing instead of hunting you.
Yeah.
And that would be manifest in reduced heat.
Yeah, this is good. I can, because I got fire oil in my, just things that I have. I would like to plant that on someone around the docks. That I guess I'll talk to Ellen, see what she knows about other people that are suspicious or like.
You pick a likely target using Ellen's expertise.
Yeah.
What action would you like to use?
Survey a location or situation to understand what's going on, sense trouble before it happens, gather information about opportunities or exploits. Can I do that? To like survey, the docks, whatever information that I can gather on who is their most likely suspect, and lead them in that direction.
Sure, yeah. Survey and find a likely person, or do you want to study information?
Study, yes.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah, you can kind of talk with Ellen and then study people and try to figure that out.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll study.
Study. Okay, this is good, guys. Never mind. It's a 3.
It's a 3. Okay.
Oof.
Oh, I can push.
You can push yourself and take 2 stress for increased result.
I'm gonna do that because we have really high heat right now.
Okay.
So yeah.
This is true.
So you're going to push yourself to add a result. So instead of only reducing heat by 1, you're reducing it by 2.
Cool.
So reduce your heat by 2, take those 2 stress, and then you'd like to do more drugs?
Yep.
All right. Are you going back to the same old haunt?
Yeah.
Atop your parents'
I don't
roof?
know. Yeah. Do I have to buy more drugs? I do have to buy more drugs.
So that's included in the downtime action. So get rid of that coin, spend that coin for this additional downtime action.
Yes.
But then roll, I believe, 1d6 for your lowest attribute.
Yes. Okay.
And reduce that much stress.
2. Okay.
2.
So I just got rid of it.
So you just undid that. Yes.
That's good.
Weirdly enough, you have the same kind of vision of you flying and then kind of stepping off a roof and
like
enjoying
Spider-Man
that feeling of the wind rushing past you as you tumble towards the ground.
Yeah. This is good.
So,
The score, right?
Oh, I have
Almost.
a conversation with Kevloff.
Almost.
yes, have your conversation with Kavlov.
Okay, and you're like probably like passed out or something.
Yeah.
Then she'll kind of like gently knock on your door, and then like hearing nothing, she'll like open it, and she'll see you like in pain, like writhing in your sleep. She's like, ugh. And then she's gonna try to like, she steps in and she's just like, what do I do here? And she kind of like tries to like clean your room and like is like being awkward.
Aww.
And then she stands at the foot of your bed and does the thing again where she kind of waves her hand in front of your face. And then she sees that you're not really conscious. And then she kind of sits down next to your bed and she just starts talking. Like, and she usually she's not talkative really around the place. So she's just rambling about random stuff about her brother. And she also talks about how even though there's someone back at home who doesn't really talk back, her brother always tells her that even though he's sick, he's always listening, and she's hoping that you're listening. And she tells you our last conversation about seeing someone again. I thought about it more, and I think I might have lied to you, but I think you're experiencing different than me, because I've seen the same ghosts before. Just, he was a ghost when I met him, and he's still a ghost now. And I know you talk sometimes about how you traveled here, and I wonder, I've only ever known Duskwall my entire life, but I read somewhere, if you go there, the ocean might be blue. I was wondering if you saw that sight too. It's whatever. And then she kind of like stands up, tries to fix some more things in your room, and then like quietly
notice that
goes out.
Kavlov has he's stilled. Like he was like murmuring in his sleep and all that, but like he's stilled by the time you're done talking, as if almost he's not there with it, but like he heard you.
She recognizes it because she does a lot of like observing, like her uncle, who's obviously in a catatonic state, so she kind of notices like your minor movement of stopping. She kind of gives it a nod. She's like, oh, I probably woke him up or something, and so she just stands up, tidies something before she leaves, and then gently closes the door.
Stress cleaning.
Nice.
Stress cleaning, because you're sick, and then when you wake up, you're like in a messy room, and then you feel like it's shit.
Oh, even worse. Yeah.
Yeah. You go towards the end of your indulgence, of your vice. You're at a rooftop party in Silk Shore. There's lots of interesting people here. This is not exactly a high society party, but high society people are here to kind of slum it. And it's a wild sort of party. People are drinking, people are dancing. There are perhaps unwise couples that are sneaking away to find a moment of solace. And at one point, you're in the middle of kind of a conversation, and a man kind of cuts through your little circle of people that you're in a conversation with in the middle of this crowded party. And he says, "Oh, excuse me." And initially you think he's Eruvian, but then as you kind of do a double take, you notice his skin is not just dark, it is black. And you think, oh, maybe he's Taikarosi, because Taikarosi usually have something very strange about them. But then as he turns and looks at you, his eyes are glittering stars, and he winks at you. And then he walks over to this young merchant's daughter who's just having a good time and is way too drunk. And he just kind of goes up to her and he leans close and whispers something in her ear, and then walks in a different direction. And you watch as the merchant's daughter walks over to the edge of this roof and kind of stands up on the short wall. And some of her friends are like, Siri, get down, you're going to fall. And then you see as she just kind of looks across and spreads her arms and with a giggle steps off and falls 5 stories to her death on the pavement below. And when you look back and try to see that strange man, he's nowhere to be found.
Oh my God.
The vibe of the party takes a hit, but
vibe check failed.
The party still does go on. It's just a lot more somber, and I think there's definitely at least one person who is like, yeah, really honestly killed the vibe when she did that.
One of her friends that was like trying to get her to stop. They're like, oh my God, she does this all the time. I cannot believe her such a drama queen.
Her friends are... Her friends leave the party. They rush down, and the blue coats are called over, and nothing really comes of it because it seems like you're the only one who saw that strange person.
Like I ask around. And
yeah, you ask around, and nobody else seemed to know. Not even the people who are in that conversation with you. None of them really seem to recall somebody like that? They knew that there was somebody who went through, but they can't tell you any details about him.
Did I get any feeling that this is connected to that feeling that I got when walking home from the score?
Now that you think about it, yeah, as he walked through and he gave you that, he showed you his eyes and gave you that wink, you definitely felt very strange and you got the heebie-jeebies for sure.
If I scan the guest list, like there's no... You said nothing that raises suspicion. Okay.
Nobody can recall a man with black skin and eyes of starlight. Is there a time where you guys all four are just together, where it's not in your lair? Or are you kind of an all business type crew?
I'm assuming that whenever we need you two, we just go to your parents' house.
So I don't live at home.
We don't live at home.
Yeah,
you guys mostly stay in the lair?
No, on downtime, I do indeed not sit in the filth of the lair. I do go to my own apartment.
I sit in the filth of the
above
lair.
the tavern.
I sit in the filth.
I kind of remove myself. I cleanse myself of this bad energy kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, Clyra's Tavern. Is that where your apartment is? Above Clyra's Tavern. Yeah. Do you want that? Do you make efforts so they don't know about that, or is that kind of a place where you all hang out in Clyra's Tavern?
I mean, you're always welcome. Just make sure to dust off a little bit before you come. It's it's a clean place. I don't want to point fingers, but Kevlov.
Wow.
I know you've taken a beating.
Wow. We're okay, we're just gonna sit in our filth, okay? My room definitely has a stench because I don't just do drugs when I'm
it's like chemicals. It's like drugs and chemicals and flop sweat.
Yeah. And I definitely there's that overhang. You ever been in somebody's room who smokes all the time? There's just always a little bit of a layer on the ceiling a little bit, just it's a little foggy in there.
That's
I'm not just
gross.
doing drugs when I'm getting really fucked up. That's just when I'm actively trying to relieve stress, but I'm always
that's when you do the dream smoke, which is a much lesser version of
constantly
and Black Lotus.
Kavlov's usually just working out, but with his injured shoulder at this point, he's kind of
hard to work
it's more
out,
physical therapy for him to get back into shape.
And
hey,
even then,
want some of this, it'll help take the edge off.
Sawtooth checks on you and is like,
"You shouldn't be whacking this that hard. You're gonna tear your stitches."
I think after the party, though, I definitely get my money's worth, not in maybe the literal sense, but the figurative sense. Get my money's worth out of the party, and then I come rushing home, and I do tell you guys what happened because it freaks me out, and it reminds me of that night that we were walking back from the score, and that just chill went down all of our spines.
You see me immediately sober up, and I'm like, dude, I'm okay. So you guys know I have a little bit of a thing, and I was, just in my usual spot, which I'm not gonna tell you guys where it's at. I, was just shooting up some Black Lotus, and I had this weird vision that I've never had before, and at the end of it, I kind of stepped off a building.
I mean, if we're talking about weird things, I saw something weird.
What'd you see?
I was walking around and I had that feeling like you're talking about. And when I looked up, I thought I saw something flying. It looked way past the roof, so it had to be somewhere in the sky.
That's what I was doing in my dream. I was flying.
In the stars?
Not that high. But I mean, obviously they were above the houses.
I had an unexplainable urge to jump off a tower.
That's weird, though.
I think we should avoid rooftops as a general rule of thumb.
Stick to the ground.
We are in the ground.
We are underground.
And keep our eyes on the sky a little bit. Maybe something's following us.
and this conversation is happening beneath the pergola.
Yeah.
We have a little
In your
vibe
kind of
spot, you know.
under-
I think that's where that is where we meet if we are gonna meet.
Yeah, we've hung up some of the shitty paintings that we found.
I try to put moss on the pergola to try to spruce it up a little bit.
There's some mushrooms around. There's some fun mushrooms around.
It's pretty. It's
If you
nice.
ask me which ones, I'll share.
We should really hire someone to clean this place.
No, I like how it
not
is.
understand how long it took me to
Who the fuck are you and what are you doing here?
And kind of walking up to you guys as you are finishing this conversation is the figure with utterly charcoal black skin and stars for eyes.
I cannot imagine existing in such a place covered by so much. You're missing out.
That's why I always go to the roofs, but now you
Kevlov,
scared me.
Has like drawn a knife at this point.
Oh yeah, I definitely I have a blowgun or something as my weapon. I'm ready.
Blowgun? What?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
you say that so casually.
Can I study him really quick?
Darts and syringes. I have a syringe.
Sure, yeah,
Some
you
needles.
can study.
That's a 5.
The only thing I'm going to give you, which is not quite zero effect, is that there is something about this figure that is utterly incomprehensible. What you get is, you're like, who is this guy? And you're like, oh, this isn't a guy. What is this? What's going on?
Sparks just freak out.
Like very much like, this isn't just a Taikarosi with weird skin and eyes. This is something else. And he kind of sees the weapons that are presented and
I
just
got a
kind
match
of,
in my hand.
and the corner of his mouth just creeps up in just a slight grin before he smooths his expression clear. And he says,
I have something for you. A request. You must.
and you all have this searing flash of a vision of a hooded figure with an ornate medallion that kind of swings out of his cloak as he walks, and you see just the bottom of the face. You see that there's a large scar that runs down his lower lip and across his chin that changes the shape of his face slightly.
I need you to make him fly. It's such a lovely thing to soar through the air, to be amongst the stars. Make him fly.
And you all are kind of gripped with this vision, and you hear these words echoing in your minds, and you find yourselves in various stages of collapse to the ground and breathing heavily, and when you look up, this entity is gone, as these words are just drilled into your mind. And this is the entanglement demonic notice.
What does make him fly mean?
Can we gather some information on who that guy is?
Can I
Or do any of us recognize him?
study?
The only one of you that is remotely familiar to is Kavlov. It is
React.
the fleeting images that were projected into your mind from ghosts talking about the hooded ones. You saw a few flashes of a medallion very similar to the one that this hooded figure was wearing.
I want to do it so bad, guys. I want to help the demon. Can we help the demon, please?
We have to accept this.
I think so. I want to help the
have to
demon.
accept
I'm sitting
this.
there. I'm like, flying is pretty cool. I think we should help this guy out, right?
He did just kill a girl, and
He also just showed up in our place, which is hidden.
I want to tell you right now, I've seen a bunch of ghosts. I've seen all sorts of things. I do not know what the fuck that guy is.
So I don't think we should try to double cross him or anything.
No good.
He's probably
That's what they
listening to
are.
us right now. We probably shouldn't. We should just do what he says, get it over with, and then never have to deal with him again. Because we don't need our souls being taken from us or anything like that. This doesn't sound great. I take another hit.
Do you tell us that you recognize him?
No, but Kavlov is seething,
what's the
angry
matter?
right now.
What's up, Cav?
We have to accept this.
Okay.
Why are you so mad?
It's no matter. We'll accept this.
All right.
Yeah, this figure is gone now.
Kavlov walks away, angry, almost like there's a new life given to him.
I think either way he's gonna do it. So we should probably be with him when he does this.
I don't think we refuse.
I'm down to.
I've seen smaller things with crazier consequences.
Yeah.
Seems our next score will be to find this hooded figure
I'm so
and make
fucking
him
excited.
fly. And with the little that you know about demons, if it was going to be as simple as walking up and pushing a random guy off a rooftop, this demon could handle that easily.
Yeah.
There must be something.
Clearly, he's
I mean,
demonstrated.
maybe his defenses are geared more towards the occult than they are towards the material. And that is why you have been selected as his instruments to accomplish this rather than the demon himself doing it. So there's probably something that you can do that the demon can't, and that's why he's offered you this.
Okay. I think that's
So again, anything that you want to do, but yeah, you definitely get the impression that make him fly is throw him off a very tall building.
sick. I'm excited.
What approach do you want to do that most of the score is going to be kind of leading up to or with that as the end goal?
We have to find this guy too.
I'm leaning towards occult. This
Yeah,
is an
occult?
I think
occult
a cult
problem.
we
makes
can
the
do a
most
cult.
sense.
Yeah, this is an
Whoa.
occult problem with an
Yeah.
occult
Yes.
answer.
So if it's a cult, then what you need to provide for me is the arcane method. So in what way are you going to make this man fly or get him into a position where you can easily make him fly? What is the arcane method?
So the thing is, another thing I can do is roaring winds.
So you want to blow him off a
Yeah,
roof?
we
like
can blow
it.
them off
Winds.
a roof with the winds.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it. So the plan type is occult. The arcane method is roaring winds summoned from the ether, or from the ghost field, rather. I think I'll just be prepared for any result on the engagement roll, and we'll roll that next session.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to do item loadouts and engagement roll once we have more details, because I had a few ideas for potential scores. This wasn't one of them. This came as a result of the entanglement, which is a cool thing about Blades in the Dark. So we will pick up next session, next episode, with defining your loadouts, rolling the engagement roll, and beginning this score to make the hooded man fly. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Tabletop Soundbox. I already messed it up. Thank you for listening to the Tabletop Soundbox podcast. Canticle of the Crimson Wake, episode 4. We hope to see you next week. Good night, mortals.
Cue that music, baby.